What I'm going to do today is I've just bought a new Evo 1 helmet. So I've had it for 2 months and I've done around 5,000 kilometers on it. So it's a pretty good helmet. Now I've been able to put my Sena on it. So I did originally have it here, but it got caught, so I have moved it up the back a little bit. Gives you heaps more room, doesn't hit anything. I love the graphics on it. The graphics are really nice. My motorbike's blue, so that's nice. Now I've given away my Evo Line 3 to a nephew of mine who rides. He'll use it for a couple of years. So it's good. Now the difference between this one here and the Evo Line 3, this is the Evo 1. Now the Evo Line 3 has a different ratchet strapping here. This can be done up with your gloves on and undone. It's very, very simple. Love it. Now this visor's on a bit of a spring. Okay, so it actually springs down. So it does sit up how I ride. It does have one little latch right there, is how I ride. I also ride with the sun shield down, and that just stops the wind getting in my eyes. So this chin bracket's a lot harder to release when you're riding. It'll take some practice. It needs to be pulled back a little bit before releasing. So you don't pull it at the back anymore, you actually pop your fingers underneath, sort of pull it out, and it'll just come up easy. It's very easy, one-handed, no problems at all. Absolutely no problems. And it actually clicks back into place. Listen. Clicks back into place. Now the difference between this one here, this one sits exactly at the back. The Evo Line 3 sits up here and makes the helmet look bigger, where this one goes all the way down the back. Now something that everybody is interested in is the noise. Is it a quiet helmet? Well, like I said, I've been riding it for a couple of months now and I've done quite a few kilometers in it, and my simple answer to that is no, it's actually quite a noisy helmet. Now the reason why it's noisy, I don't know. I think all modular helmets are going to be noisy no matter what you do. There is a hissing sound coming from these air vents here, but even when you turn them off, there's still that sound coming through. So if you ride it as an open face helmet, there doesn't seem to be that much noise. So if you ride it as a full faced helmet, and the pressure goes in here, let's say you close that up, and the pressure goes in here, it's really, really noisy. So much that you really have to wear earmuffs. And I've got a shield on my bike, and that's on both bikes. And one's very quiet, the other one's a little bit noisy, but not that noisy. So if you put your hand over here as you're going along, it sort of reduces the noise a bit. You can turn these off. These are the vents. A lot of air going in, so that's really good. So I figured out the best way to ride it without having to wear earplugs is to ride it like that and have the face shield down. It basically blocks out everything. You get some air. We're in the summertime at the moment, so we get a bit of air in there, but it blocks out everything. I can't see any glare from my dash or anything like that. So that's how I ride it, and I don't need earplugs at all. But if I put that down there, well, then that noise becomes enough to hurt the ears. Why? I don't know. But that's how it's, seems to have worked out. Perhaps it's because it's a lot better sealed helmet than the Evoline 3, and the noise that you hear inside is a typical noise from a modular helmet with lots of things hanging off it. I don't know. Even when I rode it before I fitted my Sena, it was still loud, still noisy. Now another thing people are asking is how easy is it to change to open face when you're riding along? Well, it's one button here, so it's very similar to the Evoline 3. So it can be done with one hand too, so it has no issues whatsoever changing it on the run. Doesn't matter what you're doing or how fast you're going. So this is the sun shield thing, nothing can go wrong with that. What this vent here is for, I really don't know. It's not a vent, it's just like a wind fin. It flows down and comes out here, so whether it takes the weight off the back of your neck, I don't know, but it's there. Another difference with this, the Evo 3, the problem that they fixed, is that when you have the visor down and you lift it up, it goes all the way up there, so it doesn't catch any wind. You see how it finishes there? It doesn't catch any wind, where the Evoline 3 was down here, so it was still catching the wind. But this one sits all the way back, very streamlined. It doesn't catch any wind when you ride with it up. Now the problem with these here when I first got it was the cheek pads. If you're going to try one of these on in the shop, and by the way, I had to order this through Morgan & Wacker BMW over the north side of Brisbane, and they were good enough to get me in a large and a medium, no deposit paid. So I could try these on to decide what size I needed. So kudos to Morgan & Wacker BMW. Now when I first tried these on, the cheek straps or the cheek pads were very tight on my cheeks. So what I did, I pulled out all the stuffing in there, and now it's good. So it was the same problem as the Evoline 3, which put a lot of people off, but don't be put off by it, because it's a very, very simple fix. Another thing different with this one here is this lining. It's very hard to get out and nearly impossible to put back in. So whereas the Evoline 3 was just a clip-in system, this one here is a pain in the royal butt. 20 minutes and a lot of swearing later, I finally got it back in, but it's not in perfect. So that might be something to look at in the future. Because whether they went cheaper, I'm not sure, but it's definitely harder to fit back in. Another problem I found with this when I went to fit my Sena, the holes in here for the speakers are designed for their Shark Bluetooth system, and are too small for the Sena SMH10. So I had to cut out the speaker holes, which I didn't think was a very good thing to be doing, because I think they should have fit, considering the Sena does not have very big speakers at all. And look, it's only a couple of mil all the way around the outside, but in the Evoline 3 they fit in perfect. So they've actually made these speaker holes smaller this time. So would I recommend this helmet? Well, I had the Evoline 3 for 2 years, 50,000 kilometres. Well, I think I'm going to get 2 years and 50,000 kilometres out of this one as well, because it's a nice helmet. It's a little bit tight around my forehead here. Does tend to rub me a bit on the forehead, but it's a very easy using helmet as an open face, as a full face, and the bonus comes with a pin lock system as standard. So that visor is pin lock ready, and it comes with the pin lock, comes with the helmet when you buy it. So they haven't changed everything in the helmet, but they've definitely looked at a lot of problems that the Evoline 3 had. It's so much physically smaller that people can't even tell that it's an Evoline. Some people think it's just an open face, just think it's a normal full face. Great bike ride on a tourer, an adventure bike, sports bike, the whole lot. It's safe, it's easy to use. If you wear earplugs, you could use it any time. Oh, there's another thing I forgot to mention. When I open this, up underneath here, and we've just turned the helmet over and click that back, there is a gadget here. I'll just shift my microphone. That allows, in the winter time, that stops the air coming up underneath. So therefore they've made this airtight here. So in the winter time I think it's going to be a great helmet. That just flicks back. There's a little magnet there, keeps it there. But there you go, that's something I didn't know until after I read the instructions. That's all bugs and that you see on there, so it just shows that I have worn this helmet and it has already done a few thousand kilometres. So would I recommend this helmet, and do I think it's going to last 2 years? My answer is yes. A little bit noisy, mainly a hissing sound inside, but earplugs will fix that. And because it's summer here in Australia, very hot, 40 degrees, 38 degrees I'm riding in, just open face it or keep your shield up and just run with your sun visor down. There's no noise. There's not that much noise. It's quite bearable, it doesn't hurt my ears. As soon as you drop this down, basically make that helmet airtight, you're going to have to put earplugs on because it does hurt your ears. So hopefully I've helped other people. I'll make a decision. I believe this is probably one of the best helmets on the market. I paid around $650 from the BMW Morgan Wacker for this helmet. Online they were a bit cheaper, but I got to try it on, and I really do appreciate that they actually got those two helmets in for me. So I didn't just have to buy one and then find it was the wrong size. Okay, so I've helped other people decide on what helmet they're going to buy. Catch you later, bye.